Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Haley Estes and I blog at themountainviewcottage.net, and today I'm bringing you another Halloween tutorial. It is a DIY sign inspired by Harry Potter, since I love Harry Potter. Stay tuned and I will share with you how I made this sign from start to finish. To begin, I used my silhouette cutting machine. That is the main tool that I use to make all of my signs, so that is going to be a must if you're going to make this sign and follow this tutorial. The silhouette machine comes with a free software. You actually can download the software if you don't even have the machine, and that is how I design all of my signs. If you are not into designing your own signs, that's okay. I will share the design for this sign in my Etsy shop, which I'll link in the post in the description of this video. Once I have the design made, I cut it out using my silhouette cutting machine. It does all the cutting for you, so it really takes out all of the detailed work and makes sign making so simple and so easy. Once it's cut out, I'm going to do what's called weeding the vinyl. That just means I'm going to take off the parts of the template that I'm going to use for my stencil. So I will take out all the words for the sign and any of the decorative borders that I may have created in my design. The silhouette machine will only cut a 12-inch width, so I have pieced together the top and bottom of this sign, and now I'm going to use some green star transfer tape to apply the vinyl stencil to my sign. I have raved about this transfer tape over and over on my channel and on my blog. It is the best transfer tape in my opinion for transferring vinyl onto wood signs, and it makes it so much simpler and easy. I will put a link for that also in the blog post that I'll link in the description of this video, so that if you're interested in a really good transfer tape, this is my go-to and has been for years. Once I have my transfer tape in place, I'm just going to flip it over and I'm going to put the stencil portion down, so the sticky side of the vinyl down, onto my painted sign. I've already prepped the board by painting it black, and then I'm going to paint the words of the sign white. So whatever you want your background color to be, go ahead and paint your sign that color, and then you can paint the words once you get the stencil on. Once I have this stencil in place, I'm going to go ahead and press it down really hard. You can use an old credit card. I use a specific tool that's made for applying vinyl onto hard surfaces. I will also link that for you guys. It is a game changer, and I think it works better than a credit card because it's thicker and a little bit more dense, so it gives you a much better leverage when you're trying to press that vinyl on. Once I've pressed the vinyl on really good, I'm going to go ahead and take off that green star transfer tape, and all that will be left is the vinyl for my sign. Once the transfer tape is off, I'm going to go ahead and apply a thin layer of matte Mod Podge. I actually missed the footage for this somehow. I think I thought I was recording and I wasn't, but I've shared this in other videos. I've made quite a few different sign tutorials here on my channel, so if you really need to see that portion of this tutorial, you can. I'll link another video in the description. Once I've applied a really thin layer of matte Mod Podge, I use just a foam roller or a paintbrush to do that. I'm gonna let it dry, and this step is really important because it's gonna keep any of the paint from seeping underneath the stencil, so that you have a really clean and crisp lines. Once my matte Mod Podge is dry, it will actually dry a little bit quicker than paint, so it shouldn't take too long for you to go to the next step. I'm going to use a 2-inch Purdy paintbrush to go ahead and apply the paint to my stencil. Now, in other videos I have shown that I've used a foam roller, and after I used the paintbrush on this, I just was using whatever I had near me, and I happened to have a paintbrush in my house, and so I used it, and I kind of regretted it. I think signs look so much better if you use a foam roller, so I'm going to suggest that you go follow some of my other tutorials and use a foam roller instead of a paintbrush for this step. You're just going to have a much more even coverage, and it's going to look better, and your stencil is also going to come off a lot cleaner if you use a foam roller. So then I'm going to let that sit and dry, and once it's completely dry, I will go ahead and take off the vinyl stencil. Once the vinyl stencil is off, I'll just go back with a really fine detailed paintbrush, and I will touch up any of the imperfections Even after making signs for years and selling them online, it usually is never completely finished once I pull off the stencil. I usually have to do a couple little touch-ups here and there, so that is completely normal. So make sure that you have a little extra of your white and your black paint so you can make some touch-ups so your sign looks really nice before you finish it. Here is what my sign looks all complete. I went ahead and framed it using some 2-inch furring strips. I'll link those where you can find them on Home Depot in my blog post. They're a really inexpensive way to frame your signs, and I stained it with a walnut colored Minwax stain, which is my go-to stain for all of my signs, and it is all done. And I've styled it here in a little vignette on a dresser that's in my front entryway. I just want to say thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I've really had a lot of fun decorating my house for Halloween this year. It's totally different since we're in a rental and we're no longer in our first home. And so it's been a little bit challenging, but it's been fun to decorate a new space, and my kids absolutely love when I decorate for the holidays, and so they're the ones that encourage me to start decorating this year. Hope you guys enjoy this video. Give it a thumbs up if you do, and I will be back with several more Halloween tutorials before the year is up.